All right, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. Hit the like button. Yes, guys, if you do not mind, hit the like button or the thumbs up, whatever. Just the thumbs down, the thumbs up. Just hit some shit. The whole YouTube algorithm and making things, more approachable for people. This whole YouTube thing, man, I just can't. I can't see this lasting too much longer. At least for me. It's not that it's a lot of work. There's too many. They want you to jump through too many hoops. Anyway, Ozark, thank you for the 5x5. David, Ben, thank you for the 5x5. Sarita, Evolving Media, Loretta, Cowboy, Mr. Landfill, Kathy, Rhonda, thank you for the 5x5. Salty Zog, Visit, Mitch, Brian, By the Book, Dave, Colt, Scott, thank you for the 5x5. Hudson, thank you for the RNN by RNN. Dobie, 1 second after, another day. Soraya, Water, Tiger, thank you for the 5x5. Keisha, John, Nancy, Jas, F you all. Teddy, thank you for the 5x5. Sunshine, thank you for the comment on the t-shirt. Dan, thank you for the 5x5. Yes, Ozzy is dead. We all know that. Everybody knew that around 1 o'clock today. Or earlier, excuse me. Lori, Dan, Crow, Master Blaster, CJ, thank you for the 5x5. Coast Guard, or Coast Cajun, thank you for the 5x5. Carolina, Beef and Chicken, Roddy, thank you for the 5x5. I missed anybody, sorry. All right, yeah, so Ozzy Osbourne is dead, and everybody is just a little tired. It was a rough couple of days at work. And just being at work, it just, whatever. It is what it is. And I took a nap, but apparently the nap didn't help. But I am, I got to go for a walk, and then I'm going to go straight to sleep. I don't think I have anything to do. Oh, no, I do. I got a couple things to do tonight. But, yeah, it is what it is, man. The object of the game is sleep when you're dead. Yeah, so listen, guys. New Superman has a similar situation with Gaza going on. They made a villain almost like it was Netanyahu. The Watchmen. You can look at it that way, but again, Lex Luthor's always been up to no good from the beginning of time. So that Superman wasn't bad. There was some woke isms in it, but it wasn't like really bad. It pretty much stayed true to the comic book, but it depends on which comic book variation you go by. Is when you get into comic book nerd arguments, they're like, well, it was in this comic book, that comic book, this comic. I'm like, yeah, and I said this comic book made him look weak. He got his ass handed to him, Pinball Preparedness got hacked, couldn't do his live stream tonight. A lot of that's going on, Michigan. Yeah, so I'm just waiting my turn. Just waiting for it. But a lot of our YouTubers leaving. Why? Busted Beak. There depends on which YouTubers you're talking about. I know that a lot of people are running into their own issues. So there is that. Yes, Malcolm Jamal Warner also passed away this week as well. But yeah. I never read a comic book. Yeah, I read some of the comic book. But listen, when it comes to being hacked, guys, I know I'm all over the place tonight. When it comes to being hacked, there's a couple of steps you need to take to prevent that. And I have 2 steps. One is there's something I do not do on my phone. And so because of that, there's no access to YouTube on my phone. So if I have to look up something or I have to square something away, I can only do it on my computer now. So that minimizes people getting into your shit. And I only answer certain emails on my phone because I have less apps on it. So there's a million ways they can get to your shit. There's 1,000 ways they can do it. But yeah, I try to keep it. Lorif, he drowned. He didn't die suddenly like we all, like I was thinking initially. I was like, was it the arm ticket? He went swimming and he didn't make it. So Bobby Broadway, exactly. Listen, what's her name? Autumn Backyard Garden. She got hacked. She got hacked by way of. She got hacked by way of. Thought she was talking to a company on doing a product on her channel, and she clicked the link to sign up for their product bullshit, and they hacked her shit and shut her channel down. So there is that. Someone said Indian Point is in your bone marrow. Good luck. Diali Poli, whatever the hell your name is, everybody's sick at some level or form. I'm not even worried about that. Being a fireman, we got a ton of shit in our blood, a ton of shit in our bones, our cell. Right? This is the health you give up to choose a job like that, or a coal miner, for example. You give up a lot of your health for it. So, yeah. Keep that in mind. The notorious Okra Hacking Club? Nostradamus, is that true? That'd be interesting. Listen, the hacking thing is going to happen to everybody, or a lot of people. There's a lot you can do to minimize it, but at some point, they're going to get you. They're going to get me sooner or later. There's going to be a point where I won't answer any emails. So, you know, it is what it is, man. It's one of the things that suck. One of the things that suck. But it is what it is. Oh, Pinball hates okra. Oh, okay. All right. I missed that. Kentucky Survival 76. I'm talking about that later tonight. I'm talking about the genius bill. That's not a genius bill at all. It's a money bill. It's a money grab. That's all it is. And I don't understand why anybody would defend that bill. There were moves he made a year or two prior to this happening. Come hell or high water, this was going to happen. Whether it was Biden, Kamala Harris, or Trump, this bill was going to happen. It might have been named something different, but this bill was happening because this is a segue into the cashless society that they're trying to adopt. Now, a lot of city businesses are trying to adopt that here, and it's not going too well for a lot of them. In fact, some of them are switching back over to cash, right? Some of them are hanging tough in there, but I'm like, listen, if I use my debit card 99% of the times, but if I go into a place that doesn't have cash, I'll walk right out, just so that they don't have my business, right? So I'm one of those assholes. Yes, a little hypocritical of me, nonetheless. I still walk out of it if it's just a cashless spot. Hotels are moving cashless, by the way. A lot of resorts are going cashless. So, yeah. Fuck me, man. All right. Who may control on the next round? So, yeah, the whole weather thing, too, that's another problem that we're starting to see. There are a lot of places that are just getting hit or crushed with flash floodings. And flash flooding seems to be the new weapon of choice. It's happening all over the place. Yes, TJ, Trump is pushing for the CBDC. Absolutely. He was against it. Now, all of a sudden, he's for it. So go figure. A lot of shit, guys, that he said he wasn't going to do or he wasn't a big fan of, he has now turned into a turncoat. Again, no way we could support this man who has on every level turned his back when it comes to you know, things he said he was going to do. Eyes Wide. Yes, I've seen that. I saw a couple of that. Actually, there was a kid, if I'm not mistaken, the kid had gotten murked because he kicked the wrong door. So, yeah, there is that. Scott, I did not hear that they moved the nukes around. I don't know why they would do that, but But yeah. So it's a new trend. It's kicking people's doors. Which, listen, we used to do that here in the building, and it was fun. But we did it in the building, and I'm not making an excuse for it, saying it was right. Not at all. It was still stupid. But when we were kids, it was fun. Used to blast their doors and then run like hell. And one day, my buddies used to blast this one guy's door. His name was James. And they used to kick James's door almost every day. Well, James one day left his door unlocked, and they didn't notice that. And when they kicked the door came flying open, and out comes fucking James flying down the hallway and caught one of my buddies, and shook the shit out of him till he was like brain dead. He didn't hit him, but he definitely scared the shit out of him. And I remember that, and that was like the last time we did the whole door kicking thing. But in the suburbs, it's a lot different because people carry weapons. And I don't know if these kids are kicking the door to the point the person comes out, or they're just kicking it once and running. Either way, it's stupid, you know. And there's certain doorways you can't get away with that, and other doorways you can. And that's why, but yeah, I don't know. It's a dumb trend. Again, when we did, and we didn't record it when we did it. We just did it. You know, we didn't have cell phones and shit to record it. It was just dumb shit, like the ding dong ditch. A lot of you guys remember that shit. You hit the doorbell and run off, right? Now these kids are also, there's another trend where they're running in the fences. I don't get that one. And they're knocking fences down as they do this. So, yeah, I don't understand the trends. I get kids being kids. I get kids being kids and doing kid shit, you know, but shooting a kid because they kicked your door, it's a little much, you know. Catching the kid and taking your belt off and going to war with him, fine. Chasing him down with a shotgun, not fine. Listen, kids are always going to do kid shit, you know. And when you live in a neighborhood full of kids, you gotta expect tomfoolery. It goes hand in hand, you know. Throwing shit on your door or egging your house, it goes with the territory of living in a kid-friendly neighborhood. But blasting a kid for kicking your door, that's a little much. There are people we should be doing that to, and it's not kids kicking your doors. It's dudes kidnapping kids and putting them in a certain industry. That's what we should be doing that to. We should not be fucking taking kids out for blasting your door. Now, I think the one lady who did it, I think it was a lady, and I think it was a kid that she offed. I think the kid kicked the door a couple of times, and it was enough that she had got a shotgun, and she didn't know what was going on. She thought an intruder was coming in, and I think she opened the door or she shot through the door, but the kid wound up getting murked. But yeah, it's again, some kid blasts my door here. Am I gonna chase him? No, absolutely not. I can't chase anybody, not with these bad knees and hips, you know. I have the chase capacity of like maybe 20-30 feet, and then I'm done. I'm not the young limber man I used to be, though I am still stretching and doing a lot of shit, so I don't cramp up if I have to run after somebody or run away. But yeah, I'm not chasing anybody for kicking my door. That's like the least. That's not the time for me to do that. Laura, but that was a good idea. Listen, like if a kid is constantly picking on your home, then do what needs to be done. But if they're just being kids, I don't know. I think not all of us, I think a lot of us did something to this variation. Kids are stealing cars now. Master Blaster, that's been going on for years. Years. Since I was a kid. Matter of fact, there was this whole thing in Jersey where kids were stealing, I forgot what kind of car. I want to say a Honda. Maybe it was a Honda Civic, and they were stealing cars all the time. And they were just joyriding in them. They weren't doing anything else but joyriding. And they did a movie on it. The movie sucked. It was called Jersey Drive. Absolutely horrible movie. And it was filmed in Brooklyn because Newark didn't want to film that movie because it put a bad light on Newark. Newark fucking sucks. Newark, New Jersey is a shithole. Shithole. And they didn't want to do the movie there because they didn't want a bad representation. You're already a shithole. It can't get any worse than that. But anyway, that's been going on for years. So it's not anything new. Um, well, listen, Hudson Valley, like I said, my running capabilities are like non-existent these days, man. I ain't running from shit. I'm just too old. I'm gonna stand my ground and get beat up or beat somebody up, but dude, have seen instruction guys show if you 12 it's too trifold. New York is the capital of car theft city. Yeah, and it still is, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think it still is. It's always been the capital of car theft. New York, I think. I don't know when to say New York is number two. I think like Detroit or somewhere in or Chicago maybe, but I know that New York is up there too in the top five, or was up there in the top five. Right now, they're stripping cars of their tires, or their rims rather. I walked by a car yesterday, 2 days ago. I took a picture of it too, but they stripped the guy's tires. Right? They took all. They took three. They took three and they left one. And to me, that is the biggest fuck you. Now, here's the problem with stealing somebody's tire. You steal somebody's tire because after and trying to move it is an incredibly hard feat. Now, I think I'm going to try to share this picture with you guys, but I thought this is interesting that they did this because they've been doing more and more of this. Actually, this is not anything new. This has been happening, but it's been happening more lately than it would have. But let's see. So there you go. They took three of the tires. The tire on the back left, you can still see it on the ground. They put his car on a brick. One brick. Not a cinder block, not 4 cinder blocks, one measly brick. I think they put another brick on the other side of the car that you can't see. Now, if you can see how the car shifted forward because they jacked it up, and they jacked it up on one side, took both tires off, jacked it up on the other side, and only took one tire off. Now, the reason why they can't take the last tire, a lot of the times there's a lock on it or they're rushing. And so because they're rushing through it, they missed the last tire. And I've always seen this trend. 3 tires are always gone. It's a nice car, too. Now, to move this car is going to be a pain in the ass. You can't put it on flatbeds. So what the kid has to do is get a jack, get 3 new tires, or 4 new tires, because they won't sell you 3. And then he has to jack the car up and put the rim and the tire back on. And then he can move it. But to get someone to help you move it, they're going to destroy your car. So it's better just getting tires, rims, and then putting it back on. So, yeah. That's New York City for you in a nutshell, man. That happens all the time. All the time. I mean, that's like that's the third time I've seen it. And one kid, where I used to live, it happened to him twice. And then he moved to New Jersey. Go figure, man. Go figure. So much money to get work. Water Tiger, how'd they not get caught? Because they're fast. They use the, drills. They speed like NASCAR drivers. They zip, 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 pull the tire off, zip, 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 pull it off, other side, done. It takes them, if I'm not mistaken, 2 minutes to get it off. They have 2 powered, What the hell they're called? Power tools, the wrench, right? The lug nut thing, they could take that off in seconds. And they could strip that car in 2 minutes or less. So, and they do it at night, so it's even harder to see. And a lot of the times, if you see somebody jacking up a car, as you're passing them on the road, you're not thinking they're stealing somebody's tire. You're driving by going, oh man, he's got a flat. That's all you see because you see the jack. You don't see anything else. Right? So you see the jack and you're thinking to yourself, oh, he's got a flat tire, and then you just keep minding your business. Meanwhile, they're stealing his shit. Happens all the time. But it always happens at night. And there's always a second car, obviously, or van to load the shit in. Bobby Broadway. It's not so much about the tires, it's about the rim. If this kid had, thank you, cordless impact drill. Thank you, JC. It's not about the tires, it's about the rim. If the rim's an expensive rim, then yeah, it's going to work. Then I mean, excuse me, they're going to steal it. They don't want the tires as much as they want the rim. You know, now if this guy has like Bugatti tires on this shit, then maybe they want the rim and the tires, but they normally just want the rim. And if I'm not mistaken, they sell the whole thing as a package, or they break it down. They break the tires off, and they break the tires off, or take the tires off, excuse me, and they just sell the rims, and then they sell the tires to a used tire shop, and they get like, you know, $20 for them or whatever it is. But it's the rims that they want. So yeah, it's always I guess $325 a tire on my. Yeah, for Cane Corsa, for my my truck, it's about $400 a tire. Right, I got 22-inch rims. Right, I got 22-inch rims on my tire on my truck, and each tire is about $400. So there's that, and I gotta replace them soon. So Master Blaster. It's normally 2 to 3 kids that change the tires, not 4. It's normally 2. They zip, 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 and they get the tires off. It's pretty fast. American Made is asking what happened to pinball. Can somebody answer him, please? Thank you. Please and thank you. All right. So today's topic, or the show we're talking about, is a new fear is being unlocked. Now, why did I title it that? Because I gotta find catchy titles, guys. That's the bottom line. I'm not gonna fucking jive you guys. I'm not gonna fucking be like, well, I gotta find interesting titles. And I'm getting like, I'm running out of fucking titles here. So I gotta come up with some interesting shit. But this new fear being unlocked is more propaganda, more fear. But we're gonna talk about this fear that they're trying to instill on us. All right. So he got hacked from Spain. You know what? I don't want to talk about it because the hacker shit just pisses me off. It's like, but they had Trump won. I spoke to Angryprepper. He's all right. He's doing fine. He's just he's taking a bit of a break. And he should be back before the end of the year. Jason, you need titles like... Jason, I thought that said you need titties like CP. I'm like, I need titties like child porn. What? But I need titles. Okay, like CP. Yeah. I guess. But anyway, sorry. Answering questions. Thank you, Jimmy. So anyway, we're going to talk about the United States and Russia are threatening each other once again with nuclear weapons. This is going back and forth. Again, Angryprepper is he's doing all right. Listen, that's what he told me, and I'm just relaying the message. Do I think something else could be going on? Probably, but that is not for me to say. That is for him to finally come out and tell you guys whatever's going on. He could be taking a break, guys. He could be burned out, which, that happens on here. People get burned out and they want to step away from this shit. So there is that. But he said he's all right. He's just going to come back when he can. That's all. You need to get laid, Jason. Yeah, I guess I do. But vagina is not the top priority right now. So that has nothing to do with age. I got a lot of other shit to do. And dating right now sucks. And, trying to date like one person, it sucks. The whole dating game sucks. It is what it is. But it's just it's not even worth it. And, women are just a pain in the ass. So it is what it is. I'd rather just be left to doing my own shit. And trying to work it out with somebody recently, we don't have the time to see each other and shit like that. It's just, it is what it is. So, Everything comes with headaches. I hear women complaining about guys the same way guys are complaining about women. So we're definitely missing something. But I'd rather focus on my I'd rather focus on the shit I need to focus on. You know, it is what it is. It's just too much bullshit. The back and forth and the, you know, trying to make people happy, and fuck that noise, man. It ain't worth it. You know, losing trust in people, that's a big one. You know, it's I don't. Once you lose trust in somebody, it's hard to get it back, and that's what it comes down to. So and I don't trust anybody these days. Get a blow up AI doll. Blow up AI doll is like redundant. Not that it's redundant. It doesn't exist. They got AI robots out there that's just like, yo, why they couldn't save. Now the lifeguards are making excuses why they couldn't save Malcolm Jamal Warner. I find that interesting. Here we go, the blame game. The blame game's already starting. Because someone had asked that. About like why didn't they save him and how come, and here we go. But that's a different subject for a different day. Anyway, Donald Trump has given President Putin an ultimatum with stopping the war in Ukraine or he will bomb Moscow. Why would he say that is beyond me, but of course that you know, I don't know. It's the whole back and forth with Russia, and like I said before, guys, I think it's by way of it's just a design. I think this is something that they put on their watches. They go, all right, guys, 2 weeks we're gonna war with each other. We're gonna throw threats, vague threats, but we're gonna throw threats at each other. I just, whatever. So, Donald Trump has given an ultimatum. Russia's statements contain strong threats and warnings, particularly concerned with the ongoing war in Ukraine. Now, this Ukraine shit, again, guys, I think it's a stage. It's just this whole Ukraine shit and so many people that were up Russia's ass. And they were just sitting there like Russia is going to steamroll over Ukraine. And I remember saying, it's not going to be that easy. And people like, you don't know what you're talking about. Here we are, 4 years later. Or is it 5? 4 years later. And Russia's still going at it with Ukraine. And it just seems odd that this whole, we're going to take them by storm, didn't happen. So Russia, on state media TV, or a state media TV personality, has issued graphic threats of relations and escalation in response to the Western action supporting Ukraine. Again, Russian politicians are stating that they want to annihilate the West, or rather the United States. It's usually us in particular. But all of this, guys, has to be staged, because they're keeping this war going. Ukraine keeps asking us for money. Russia keeps giving us threats. Russia's been threatening us for the last 3 years now, 4 years, that if we step in, we're going to do this. If this happened, we're going to do that. And none of it has happened. So, yes, it's all BS, American made, all of it. It's just like, and then you got, again, I'm not beating up on any particular YouTube channel, right? But again, they constantly, did you see what they just did? What did they do? Enlighten me, dickhead. What did they do? They moved weapons from one side of the country closer to the border of Ukraine. Something's going to go down. And don't get me wrong. A couple of people did foresee Russia storming Ukraine when it happened, because they were massing their troops by the borders and they were getting ready to rock and roll. And then they rocked and rolled. And then that one time that they were right, they took that and they make note of it in every video. Remember when I told you Russia was going to storm Ukraine? They bring it up every time they get. So now people are like, yeah, you were right that one fucking time 4 years ago. You know, like, people are stupid. People are just moronic. That's all. And people will believe anything they are told. And it's mind-boggling. And so now I'm sitting here not believing anything anymore. I take everything with a grain of salt. And listen, I give everything like a 50-50. Yes, it could be true or it might not be. I don't completely write shit off unless it's really stupid. But to enter the conspiracy theory world and live there, yeah, that's a dangerous place to be. It really is a dangerous place to be. Pump and all the equipment in life. So, it's, yeah. And you got, again, and listen, it's not just CP, it's not just him. There are other channel guys who like started on the level, and because they saw their YouTube check rise to a new level of, you know, money that they were making, they sucked into it. They're like, I'm making $4,000 now. Last month I was making $1,600 because I was pumping fear. I'm gonna keep pumping fear, and then, you know, like, they keep doing this shit. It's about money. None of these channels actually care about your well-being. They really don't, because if they did, they would cut their shit, or they would use logical thinking, step back, and go, "We're being played." And we're being played on purpose. They do not want us to band together as people. They do not want the American people to band with the Russian people. They don't want the Irish to band with the English. They don't. It's all politicians who make these assumptions, these moves, these calculated moves, so that we stay separated. Yeah, man, it's just bad. And so when people get money, and don't get me wrong, guys, you look at some of the money that some of these guys are making, you're like, yo, that's a lot of money. $5,000 a month, 6, 10, 12 grand a month. But if you sell out for money, that speaks to your person, that speaks to exactly who you are. And anybody who sells out for money for the sake of making more money to scare the shit out of people is an untrustworthy person. I wouldn't put my life in their hand. And they know who the fuck they are. We don't have to say their names. Some of you guys already said their name. Right? It is what it is, man. You know what prepper channel just disappeared? Mama Bear Prepper. Yeah, she was actually on, if it's the same lady I'm thinking about, the younger girl. She was on Instagram. I haven't seen her on there in a while. Listen, guys, shit happens to people and they just disappear, man. You know, I mean, I'm going to tell you this much. The whole going through what I went through earlier this year and the constant depression that's like always there, I was ready to step away from it. In fact, earlier this month, I was like, I wanted nothing to do with being on here. So people do have their own lives and shit does happen to them. You have to keep that in mind. And, I mean, I found my cocktail to stay above board. And I also found out, like, listen, obviously, you know, having a girlfriend would be nice, but you need to find somebody who's going to be dependable. And that's where that's the issue that I've had for the last 3 years. I just don't have anybody to depend on. You know, when my father passed away, I had no one to depend on, right? And then when my son passed away, I really had no one to depend on. So when you start looking at it in that regard, it does hit you that you have to handle this shit on your own. You don't have a choice. But you can't turn around and depend on a woman. I can't. You just really can't. You can't depend on people. You got to depend on yourself. The tough part is getting through that. If you can get through that on your own, you'll be fine. I'm not saying that I got through it, but, you know, it's a battle. It's a fucking battle to get through this shit every day. Every day I wake up and it's the same shit. You know, it's the same shit every day, man. You're just like, fuck, I can't believe this happened. Every fucking morning. But then every morning I lay there and I'm like, I gotta get the day going. Right? So I don't have anybody to turn to and be like, you know, this is what I'm going through. I don't have that. And I don't want to bother anybody else with my bullshit. So men, for the most part, our fallback is ourselves. We don't have the like women. Women can call up their friend. They can call up their sister, their mother if she's still around. You know, they don't have their girlfriends. We guys don't have that option, and we just don't like bothering people. Women love bothering people. Women will text you, fucking 2 o'clock in the afternoon about like some silly story that happened. Men keep shit to themselves, and it took me for this to happen to really understand it. Like I understood it after my father passed away. I was like, all right, I'm on my own. But after this happened, I was like, yeah, I'm on my own. It is what it is. No friend, exactly. You just got to grind through it. But it's a lot tougher than you think. And if you haven't gone through it, you don't know. That's all I can say. If you haven't gone through anything that traumatic, you do not know. David, it'll get better. I don't have a choice. That's the problem. I don't have a choice. But yeah. But yeah, and listen, most women in this regard are selfish when it comes to this. That's another reason why guys can't turn to a woman. You can turn to another dude who's been through this. Prepper Revelator was somebody that I talk to or call, but I don't want to bother him with my bullshit. But yeah, it is what it is, guys. And so back to like all of this fear mongering shit. You got to stand for something, and to sit there and allow these YouTube channels to dictate to you fear and to dictate to you anxious or anxiety. Excuse me. That's bullshit. I step back now, guys, and I look at everything through a different lens. And again, it started with my nephew passing away. When he passed away, I dealt with that for the most part on my own. I couldn't even talk to my wife about it because she was talking about, like dumb shit that didn't matter. But yeah. Juan, people do need a tribe, but you don't want to bother anybody. That's the other thing. I don't want to bother people. And the cocktail that I'm taking now is helping out a lot. Like a lot. And I'm going to do a video on the Prepper Fitness channel about it. Because after I started taking it, I do feel better. I do wake up in the morning and I'm like, I can't believe this happened. But I get my day started. And yes, the bad feeling in the air, it's listen, guys, it's still there. You know what that bad feeling is like? It's like that tension in the house when your wife is mad at you. And it's there. You know she's mad at you. You don't want to ask why she's mad, but you're about to ask anyway. But that tension in the air, or after you had a fight, that tension that lingers, it's just there in the air. And that's what we're going through right now. But when is it going to pop or let go, that's the problem. When is it going to subside? Who knows? Johnny Thoreau says, been single for 14 years, excuse me. Lexi, 12 years. Hey, listen, that's probably just where it's going to be for me. It is what it is. Again, you also don't want to alienate people with your shit, my son's mother keeps telling me, you could talk to me. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking ruin your day with my bullshit. That's how we look at it. We don't want to ruin anybody else's day with our bullshit. I'll ruin a stranger's day in a minute, like if they're being an asshole, but for the most part, she is mad 24/7 here. Johnny goes, she is mad 24/7 here. Which, listen, guys, there's also this whole menopause thing that's starting to actually make its way into the political arena, which is a dangerous place for it to go. But let's see where it's go. And I bring up menopause because menopause is the reason why a lot of marriages end. Believe it or not, A lot of marriages are ending, and they're finding this out now because of menopause. Because women are going through whatever changes they're going through, and they don't like their husband anymore. They're not attracted to their husband anymore. They fucking want nothing to do with their husband, but they see a strange dick on a beach, and they're like, oh, I gotta gobble it up because it's something new. Right? So they're definitely entertaining it. I want to see where this goes, as far as that goes. But anyway, sorry for the whole sidetracking shit, guys. But again, with media, whether it's United States or Russia, they're trying to build up anxiety. Russia is taking its turn right now by making these threats. Trump did make a threat directly to Russia, and I'm like, nothing's going to happen. These people are going to continue to scare the shit out of you. That is their main purpose, is to scare you. No, there is no other. Listen, peace can be resolved. Peace is one of the easiest resolutions on this planet. Period. It is one of the. Listen, you go to the table and you make realistic demands. You know, you're making realistic demands. Christy, I heard about that whole dementia shit before. I mean, sorry, anxiety shit, not being a god. But, yeah, mainstream media is not the place anymore. And listen, it's never been. It really hasn't been. It's always been a fucking ruse. But it is what it is, right? One prominent TV personality in Russia, Dmitry Denkin, specifically mentioned the Oreshkin. The Oreshkin missile, which is claimed to be in use for combat. Now, there is a lot of chatter online about this missile. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this missile can travel up to 3,000 miles, right? It's called the Oresnik, which is a hypersonic missile, travels up to 3,000 miles. There is chatter that it does not exist, or it's still in its very, very young, infantile, experimental stage. There's two thought processes, and then Russia says that they have it ready to rock and roll. They've also said they tested it, but there is zero videos of them testing it. So how do we take the words of the Russians? Don't know. But anyway, they mentioned this, claiming that they were ready to use in combat and threatening their deployment response to alleged comments by Donald Trump about bombing Moscow. Now, Donald Trump supposedly threatened to bomb Moscow in a leaked audio. Don't know what that means. Don't even know if they made that shit up. I think they made that part up. But Russian officials have reportedly cautioned about the rising nuclear tension and the potential of a Third World War scenario, with Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov remarking that doomsday clock is ticking closer to midnight. Russia views conventional attacks on its territory supported by nuclear power as a joint attack, potentially warranting a nuclear response. Kremlin revised nuclear doctrine back in November of 2024, allowing the use for nuclear weapons in response to a conventional attack that poses a critical threat to Russia or Belarus sovereignty. This includes the possibility of responding to the use of a long-range missile such as the U.S.-supplied ATA CMS to strike Russian territory. Russia considers NATO's action also as allowing Ukraine to use Western weapons to strike targets within Russia as provoking a new level of tension, and warn of this escalation. Dmitry Medvedev, former Russian president, warned that more countries would acquire nuclear weapons in the coming years, blaming the West for pushing the world to the brink of the Third World War. Not sure what that means. I know what it means. I just don't understand why he said it that way. Industrial Cyber Report suggests that Russia hybrid threats, including sabotage of critical infrastructures, are likely to escalate in 2025 around the 2025 NATO summit, particularly targeting European countries like the Baltic states, Poland, and Germany. In essence, Russia is utilizing various means to communicate its resolve and deter further Western involvement in the Ukraine war, including overt threats of military escalation and the revision of the nuclear doctrine to lower the threshold for potential nuclear weapon use or response. These actions have contributed to increased global concern about the potential for wider conflict. There are a lot of European countries right now that are nervous that this is going to happen. And I'm like, here they go with their nervous bullshit. They're not nervous. It's all a game. Now, the people who might be getting nervous are us, civilians. We might be getting nervous. But I don't see preppers getting nervous. I don't know why we would. I think a lot of us see through this bullshit. How many threats can you actually make? Imagine threatening punching somebody in the face during a fight or a potential fight 80,000 times while you're sitting in front of them. I'm going to punch you in your face if you don't shut up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to rack you one. I'm going to punch you in your face. And you say it like 14 different ways. I'm going to rack your shit. I'm going to rock you right now. You know, and then you start like flinching and shit. You start like, but then you don't do anything. At some point, guys, we got to look at this and go, they're full of shit. They're fucking full of shit. Now, if tomorrow morning we wake up and New York City's glowing in the dark, I apologize. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think any of that's going to happen. I think they're just doing this to keep us on our toes. Now, coincidentally, I stumble upon a quick story about China's new nuclear missile called the DF-B5. It's another hypersonic missile that another powerful country, China, is holding on to, or rather they created. They didn't say it was operational, but they said they have it. I don't know what that means. This is another theoretical or experimental missile that is being mentioned and monitored right now. Again, no videos on this thing, no actual eyes on it. They just said that they have it. The Russians did the same thing. I don't think there's an actual video of Russia testing their Orenskin missile. They just said they have it. I could be wrong, though. But yeah. So you are wrong. Manilow is always in here. Manilow, man, you need a girlfriend. You need to go on Tinder or some shit. You need to stop with your, fucking, it's all going to end tonight. Manilow is one of those guys that every week he's on here and every week we're going to die. We've been, according to Manilow's whole prediction, we were supposed to be dead 5 years ago. But, yeah, man, not happening. Not happening at all. So, again, China now has a hypersonic missile. Now, this hypersonic missile supposedly has multiple warheads. They didn't say how many. So that was kind of red flaggy because they normally tell you how many they have. They didn't say how many. They said they had multiple warheads. Each warhead has 200 times more power than the Hiroshima bomb. So if they have multiple warheads launching out of this one missile, each one of them is more powerful than Hiroshima. That's pretty interesting if this is in fact true. But it's not. Again, it's another scare tactic to keep us in line. The more they keep us in line, guys, the more they can scare us, the more they can keep us in line. The more they can keep us in line, the more we don't want to fight the system because now we're looking to our government for protection. That's what they're doing. They're trying to keep us in check so that we could sit there and be dependent on so we're dependent on the government. So we're dependent on their protection. That is why they keep doing this shit. So I guess every time we start feeling our oats or we're starting to feel restless, they're definitely going to turn around and start going, oh, Russia's threatening us again. We're going to protect our American people by, X, Y, and Z. It's all bullshit, man. It's all bullshit. It's what it is. And they're going to continue to lie to us on a daily basis. Oh, man. I tried today for the first time, by the way, sidetrack. I tried beef tallow, Wagyu beef tallow, which is pretty good, by the way. But I'm starting to break out in hives, so that means I'm probably allergic to it. There's only one way to know for sure. Eat it again, see if I break out. I haven't had hives in months. But anyway. But yeah, Russia is scaring their people with the United States. We're scaring our people with Russia and China and Iran and Iraq now, apparently. They're trying to keep us on our toes. That's all it is, man. It's all a script. All a script. To keep us scared. So people, listen, there are a lot of people out there that believe a lot of the bullshit. And the problem, guys, is that a lot of us are awake. And I use that term loosely, that we're awake. But Wagyu is not gross, Suze. You bite your tongue, lady. Wagyu meat is the best, whatever. My face looks a little bloated. I'm not that fucking, I'm not breaking out that bad. It's on my hand. It only shows up in one spot. I don't start fucking breaking out, you know. If that happens, this will be a great live stream. You guys are like, oh my God, he's blowing up before our eyes. Cooked quail and fries in it. It does add a lot of flavor, Jay, no more. That's for fucking sure. I was impressed with it. I was really impressed. Like, oh man, this is cool. But yeah, guys, again, they're keeping us scared and divided. That's all it is. And there's so many people that believe the bullshit. They believe everything they read, man. They believe. I mean, listen, like, and I use my Firehouse as the example, right? That they just text me, man. I use the Firehouse as an example because some of the shit that they say, they believe it. They believe it. They're like, yo, this is, you know, this is really happening. I'm like, no, it's not. It's a fucking ruse, man. That's all it is, you know? It's still good, King Corsa. 50% fat or not, it's still a good steak. And that's a steak you have like once or twice a year. You do not eat that all the time. You can't because of the fatty properties, you know? But rotisserie spam. Anyway. So yeah, guys, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at fucking more bullshit. We're looking at being lied to some more. You know, again, meanwhile, they're throwing the war aspect at us, but the shit that came down with the cryptocurrency just the other day with Trump's Genius Act, that is not good. Now, we're going to talk about that later tonight on the Angry Truth channel, and I'm going to dive really deep into what's going to happen, but over the next few years. The problem with this, guys, is this is not going to happen today. It's not going to happen next year. It's going to happen over the course of the next few years. And in fact, some of it, the heavier part of it, is not going to happen until we're in our 70s or 80s, if we live that long. But yeah, it's going to get ugly. And the fact that Trump is lighting the way, no friend, firefighters, we're stupid. We're dumb people. We're just simple fact. We're signing up for the job we have and doing the shit we do would, to the normal person, make us look stupid. Trump is full of shit. Yeah, listen, Trump completely screwed us over. Completely. And it's only going to get worse. Star Wars is real life. And again, all the shit that the Earth's going through right now, like the Earth is spinning faster, they might have to reset the global clock because the Earth is spinning faster. They were just talking about this the other day. And they were like, not the other day, today. I saw an article today how they're going to reset the global clock. And I was like, what does that mean? Because it's spinning a microsecond or millisecond faster than normally. And apparently that has like, if that keeps happening, if it keeps speeding up, there's going to be a problem, and like we'll probably be dead by the time that happens, or long dead by the time that happens. But if it spins fast enough, there's a lot of problems that come from it. Again, that's probably over the span of the next 100 years or so. And why is it starting to spin faster? Who knows? So, waning from its sins. Yeah, listen, how we want to look at it. I think it's a polar shift. Bucky, could be a polar shift, man. We don't know. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know. So, yeah. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, you know, I figured it out. My inside sources, I do not know. I really don't want to know. There are a million things that we need to be concerned about. The Earth doing its thing is not much we can do about it if it is speeding up. If the core reversed, there's not much we can do about it, right? If a giant asteroid comes out of the fucking planet, out of the deep space and hits us, there's not much we can do about it. If a Rosie O'Donnell alien attack happens, we're fucked, right? We're fucked. So there's not much we can do about that either. Rhonda, thank you for the heads up. Appreciate it. But there's a lot going on. My Skydive, thank you for the heads up. But it's definitely not looking good. I can tell you that much. With all of this shit going on, I'll call him back in a minute, man. You know, tell me some shit I do not want to. Yeah. You're gonna tell me some shit I don't want to fucking hear for tomorrow morning. Anyway. But, guys, listen. On the Angry Truth, we're going to talk about a lot of the fucking bullshit that's going on. It's fucking insane. It's just insanity. With this whole crypto bill. And people are, like, applauding it. And the people who are applauding it are the money people. The people who invested in it. Remember when cryptocurrency first started, right? Bitcoin was supposed to be for you and me and for everybody. We can all afford it. This idiot who created Bitcoin and was pushing the fact that it was for the everyday person and everybody could have access to it was too stupid to realize, because I saw the writing on the wall. I got into arguments again with people about cryptocurrency, and I said the dream they sold you about cryptocurrency being for the everyday person was a pipe dream. I said once millionaires get involved, it is no longer going to be for you and I. It's going to be out of reach for us. And where is it now? It's out of reach for us. Now, yes, if a lot of us jumped in on Bitcoin at the ground level, we would have been millionaires. But we didn't. Because I didn't fucking see the allure with fake money that was made out of thin air. The money doesn't exist. I get in an argument with people all the time about cryptocurrency. Yes, I do. I have some, absolutely, because I don't want to miss that boat completely. But it's fake money. It doesn't exist. They sat there and said, we got a coin for you. We're going to call it the Trump coin, the Trump meme coin. And we just made it out of thin air. They're making it out of thin air and then telling people that this thing is worth money. The worst part about the American cryptocurrency, you're going to have to find out on the Angry Truth channel. The worst part about it, it's insanity what they're doing with it and what's backing it. Insanity. RDW, Bitcoin is private, is why the government's making their own coin and they're going to push out Bitcoin. Right? The creator of Bitcoin, someone just texted me, the creator of Bitcoin is dead. They said he died years ago. It was an Asian guy. Some people have said that they think Elon Musk did something, made it, but it tracked to somebody in Japan. And they said that guy was dead, but they don't know who it was, which is still interesting. There is two theories. There's two guys that the theory is. Actually, three. One of them being Elon Musk, and the other two are two Japanese men that they thought created it. And one guy who created it, they think died of cancer. So, again, it's a theory or a rumor. No one really knows. But here's the problem with Bitcoin, guys. That means anybody can make it up, right? Anybody could be like, yo, I'm going to make the Mobutu coin. And I'm going to go online and make you this Mobutu coin. Right? And NFTs. Trump bought into NFTs. I couldn't believe I read that shit. Again, we're going to go over that in a little bit. But other than that, guys, I'm going to go off the air now. I will see some of you guys over on the Angry Truth channel. I'll see the rest of you guys Thursday night for the doubleheader. I might get up early tomorrow morning and do a midweek report real quick before I have to go on to work. But other than that, guys, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it as always. Like I said, I'll see some of you guys in a little bit. And yeah, man, thank you for joining me.